Hey guys, welcome to Tooling with Newman. What do we got here today? So we've got Senix Power Tools. And if you're not familiar with Senix, I wasn't too familiar neither. I'm pretty new to the platform. I've just got a couple of them. I've only been using them for about a week now. But I tell you, after 1 week, these guys, they rival all the competitors. So they're not so well known. They're designed and distributed here in the USA. They're headquartered in North Carolina. They have multiple different power tools. The only ones I have are the blower, I've got the chainsaw, and I've got the impact, but they have many, many more. They work on all different platforms. I've been using them, like I said, for about a week now. These guys will rival, I tell you, they'll rival Milwaukee, Makita, Metabo, you know, all the big giants. They are just as good as those. When I first heard about them, someone told me about them, so I decided to look into getting some. And I was a little bit hesitant because, you know, there's so many different power tool lines on the market, and half of them are pretty like crappy and cheapy, and you just don't know until you get your hands on them. But I tell you, from my experience, I got my hands on these. I've used all three of them for an extended period of time. I say extended period of time, about a week. I've used a couple of jobs on all of them, and they are absolutely fantastic. So let's dig on into these. So the first thing we're going to look at is the Senix. This is the impact. So this is the 20-volt max lithium ion cordless screwdriver. This is part number PDIX2M20. Cordless screwdriver. So, and this is part of the X2 platform. And the X2 platform is their type of battery. So this is their X2. They have a couple of different ones. They have an X2, and then I'll go into you what the X2 times 2 is. I'll go into that a bit later. But for this one, it is the X2 20-volt, and I have the 4.0s. So the particular one that I have, this one does not come with a battery. It's the drill only. But I had batteries. I had got batteries for one of the other tools. So that's why I have the batteries, and I have the charger here too. So it comes like a standard impact. It comes with this. It comes with your clip. I swapped out the clip for the Noster. As you see there, I love the Noster. I put that on all my power tools. So it's pretty unique. It has 130 foot-pounds of torque, and it has, I want to say, I think it was 3,300 RPMs. So it's got a good little juice behind it. It has your quarter-inch adapter here. And one cool thing about this guy is you could use US handles, and you could use Japanese handles, and they both lock in. You know, like a couple of the other brands, the US and the Japanese don't lock in an impact. But these, they both lock in the impact, which is pretty unique. So I do like that about it. Here's your battery level indicator here on the front of the battery. And also, you got a couple of switches here. So once you activate your trigger, it lights up. So the first one is your speed. Let me make it so you can see. Hold on, get it to zoom. All right, your first one is your speed. So you can go, you know, 4 bars, 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar on your speed. And the other one is your light on the drill. Once I get it going, hold on. There's your light on, off, on, off. And the third one, which is pretty crazy, it doesn't work right now, but once you put it in reverse, see it lights up green, you could turn it on, off. So what that one is, that's an auto stop function. So when you're removing a screw or a bolt or something, whenever the screw or bolt is almost out, it'll automatically stop off. So you basically don't drop your screw or your bolt on the floor. It's a pretty unique feature. I personally haven't seen that on any other impacts. It's my first time seeing it. I don't know if there is on the other impacts, but I know that this is my first time. So pretty cool. Not much else to say about it. It's just like your standard impact. Works very, very well. I used it I screwed in, basically I framed in a whole outdoor kitchen with it. So I used it probably for pretty much, you know, 7-8 hours, and it worked really, really well. This is the first one of the Senix line I used, and I was very, very surprised at how well it was. It's pretty light in the hand and pretty small. You can see the size of it. And I was just totally impressed. So that got me introduction to the Senix line. And then I guess you would say my obsession kind of just went from there. So just to take a look at some of the specs, if you want, you could pause it and take a look at some of them. Just to highlight a couple, 1/4-inch hex bit driver, blah, 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 brushless motor. It comes with belt clip, 4-speed selector switch. We went over that. and a couple of other awesome little items. So you can get them at senixtools.com. All these Senix lines, they're made, I think they're designed and distributed in the U.S., in North Carolina. Now, I don't know where they're made, like actually manufactured. I have no idea. I tried looking into it. I couldn't find anywhere. So just so everyone knows, if that's important to you, there is a 5-year warranty on your tool, and I think a 3-year warranty on your battery. They actually sell these at Lowe's. I've noticed that Lowe's are starting to carry these now too. So you could buy it with, how I have it, that is tool only, or you could buy it with your batteries, whatever you want to do. So that's your impact there. And let's take a look at, so here's the battery. So this is the battery charger that I have. It's a 2-bay battery, and then I have the 2 different batteries here. And just lock it right on in like your standard charger. Now, and like I said, mine didn't come with this. This one came with the chainsaw. I just have it for that. So that's your impact, your Senix impact.
Yeah, it works good. It works good. I just I don't know if I have to split my hair.
All right, next one I have, this is the Senix chainsaw. So this is the 14-inch chainsaw. And this is part of the Senix 2X2 line. So if you remember the impact is the X2 line. And this one is the 2X2. So what's the difference? The only difference is that the same battery platform, except it takes 2 of the X2 batteries. That's the difference. So this guy takes 2 of these X2 batteries, which are the same batteries as the impact. So this is part number CSX2M2. All right, and it's just like your standard battery chainsaw. It's got a couple of unique things about it, which I'll talk to you about it as we go into it. So it says it has 20 ms max chain speed, which I have no idea. I'm not a lumberjack. I have no idea what that means, but it means the chain goes fast, I guess. And it says up to 90 cuts on one charge. I went out and I cut up a number of different logs with this. I was clearing a little pathway in the woods for my son to ride his motorcycle. So I cleared up a whole pathway with this. I did probably 30, 40 cuts, something like that, and it didn't slow down at all. So I know it lasts for a while. So it is a good one. Let's keep going. So let me get this out of the way. Sorry, I'm back. All right, so here you have your standard chain guard here. You have your standard blade guard here. On here, you got the 14-inch. You got your chain here. Looks pretty normal, pretty standard. So over here is something not necessarily unique, but I've seen it before, but it's something cool. So you have lock and unlock here. Lock and unlock here. So if you pop this up and you just loosen it just a little bit, and you rotate this one, you can see you have the chain tightener. You could tighten your chain, or you could loosen your chain just by this little dial without changing anything. And then whenever you get it to where you want, you tighten it down, and then lock this into place, and then your chain is nice and tight. So like a little quick release, I guess you would say, a chain tightener. I see a lot of the companies, the bigger power tool companies are doing that now. It's like, on the old ones, no, you would have like a little screw on the inside. You have to get like a screwdriver to tighten it, but now it's like a tool-free application. If you want to take off your chain guard here, you just unscrew this, and this whole piece comes off. Pretty standard on that one. Moving on around, on the top of it here, you have, this is your bar and chain oil. Fill it up with your bar and chain oil. Lock this down. As I spin it on around, it's a little bit too big for my workbench. So then, here's your bar and chain oil reservoir. This is your sight glass, I guess you would say. And underneath here, this is where you put your batteries. So you put your 1, and your 2 batteries in there. I think both my batteries are full. Yeah, both batteries are full. So if you have, it has the brake guard here that you got to pull to release, or lock to lock it into place. So if you go to pull your trigger and the brake guard is on, this red light illuminates to let you know, hey, numbnuts, the brake guard is on. I know like my old chainsaw, I would do that and then you wouldn't know if it was on, but it would still work. If you gave it like full throttle, it would still work against the brake. It just wouldn't work as good. So you're always like fighting the brake, and it was kind of annoying. So I guess that's why they created this light up button here. So whenever you go to click it, it lights up red just to tell you, hey dumbass, you know, take off your chain lock, and then you'll be able to go. I don't want to run it too much because I'm going to throw bar and chain oil all over my desk. So just to show you guys that it works. Moving on around, take a look here. You can see how on the top here. See on there it says, if you can see that, pull to reset, which is pull or lock to activate your guard. Pretty standard, pretty cool. This guy is an awesome chainsaw. Like I said, I used it for a long time. It worked really, really good. And I was impressed. I tell you, even my son was there. My son's 15. And he was like, wow, Dad, that thing's one of the best chainsaws you got. And I've got all different brand chainsaws. And he even thought that was good. And he don't know nothing about any of this. So really impressed with this. This is a good one. This is the Chainsaw by Senix. All right, so the last one I'm going to go over, and this is probably the one that is, in my opinion, the most impressive. So this is the Senix X6 60 volt lithium ion cordless leaf blower. Okay, so this one is a different battery than the one we just looked at. Let me just take the battery out. So this guy is the Senix X6 battery line, and this is 60 volt. This guy is the 60 volt, the 4.0. So it's a lot bigger of a battery. You can see there, and it comes with its own battery charger. This one I have, it came with the battery and the battery charger. So you see here, it's a complete different battery platform from the Impact and the chainsaw, but it is a cool looking battery. See that? It looks pretty futuristic. You have your, you could check your battery level here. You push the button and it lights up. So if it lights up all the way here, then it's fully charged. You see, click it, and if it, like, so this guy's halfway charged here. I've used it a lot. When I say a lot, I've used it way too much, and it's still going strong. So it's a good battery, lasts a while. This guy is, it's 810 CFM and 170 mile an hour blowing power. So it has a cruise control, which I'll go over that with you, and I'll go over some other things about it. Again, this guy the tool has a 5-year warranty, the battery has a 3-year warranty. So just like all the Senix Tools, they all have that awesome warranty to where, you know, in 5 years time, if you're still using the same blower, good for you, that's a good ass blower. All right, so this is part number BLAX6-M1. I'll repeat that again, BLAX6-M1, if you're looking into it. All right, so let's get the box out the way and we'll take a look at the tool. So first things first, when you take a look at it, it just looks like a rocket ship. Look at that thing. You know, and when you put your battery in there, it looks like even more of a rocket ship. You put it in there like so, and that thing looks like it blows, huh? And it does. It really, really does. I have, and I hate to compare tools, but I have a couple of other blowers. I got a Milwaukee one, I got a DeWalt one, and this guy literally blows it out the water. But again, I don't have the new Milwaukee. You have the Milwaukee dual battery one. I have the Milwaukee single battery one, and this is a lot. It blows a lot better than that. So, but again, I don't want to compare tools. I'm just showing you the Senix line. So, you have your trigger here, and you have your trigger lock. See that? The cruise control trigger, and then that's the cruise control. So if you're going, let's say you're blowing for whatever, you're blowing the whole sidewalk down and it takes you forever, click on the cruise control and then it's going to stay locked and it will keep blowing. Now if you want max blowing, you got to manually pull it. It's got that little bit more there that will give you like the max bump, but you can't do that on cruise control. All right, now if I click the battery in, now you hear it. I'm barely touching it. I mean, you hear it, it sounds like a jet, but it's a really, really good blower. So to give you a tour of it, let me take out the battery now just because it's easy to work with. It's a quick release. You could take off your whole blower tube there, and the front little nozzle is also a little quick release there. So if you want a skinny nozzle like this guy, or you want a wider nozzle like that guy, you have a choice there. It's kind of big to keep it in the camera frame, so you have to work with me on this one. Spin it on around. You see on this side you have the X6, the battery platform. And that's pretty much it. It stands on its own there, which is cool. If you look at the feet there, it has like feet and it stands on its own. It also has a hook here if you want to hang it, if you want to put a screw in the wall and hang it on your wall, however you want to do it. It's pretty awesome. Right now, currently, I have it, I store it. I'll show you how I store it. So I store it with the battery in. Wow, that's a little awkward. There. So I store it with the battery in, and I store it standing up. It's like, I'm in like close quarters here, and I'm trying to play with, it's like playing with 5 pounds of bubble gum, putting it in a 1 pound bag. It just ain't working, but anyway, so that's how I store it. I have it stood up in the corner of my garage until I mount it on the wall or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, or where I'm gonna put it. But that's it. That is the Senix power tool line. My 3 tools. I'm gonna be in the market for, again, a number of the rubber tools. I can only speak for these 3. But all 3 of these guys were hits. So I don't know how it's going to work or what more I'm going to get. I'm definitely going to get some more. This is one of my newer. I'm a Milwaukee guy. I've been in Milwaukee for years. I'm going to keep being a Milwaukee guy. But it's nice to have different type of brands, you know, different stuff. I mean, all the power tool lines are great, the big guys, you know. But these, I'll tell you, I'm very, very, very impressed. Very impressed. When I first got it, I was so hesitant. I was like, you know. I set the bar really low, just being honest. And then I opened it up and I started using the stuff and I was like, holy shit, like these are really good. So I highly recommend them. Will they stand the test of time? I can't answer that. But I tell you, from my first week of using them all, absolutely fantastic. You know, and they're obviously a bit cheaper than your big guys. Like I know the Impact is for like less than $100 at Lowe's for the tool only. Something like that. So it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. This guy, I think, on Amazon is $199, and I think the chainsaw is $199 on Amazon too. I could be wrong on them prices. That's just going off like my memory. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, everything else, comment. Let me know if you have any questions. If you got anything to teach me about, let me know. I'm open for all ideas. All right, gang. Well, thanks for watching. Solo and Noon.